We're live, and Milwaukee had their pipeline event earlier this week, and there was some big stuff that came out of it. A lot of disappointment came from it, but there was something that no one noticed, or at least they didn't talk about. And it's kind of funny that they didn't, because it's most likely the biggest news to come out of Milwaukee in years, and it's going to leave every other tool manufacturer behind, and behind by a lot. Um, it's kind of frightening what they're doing, but on Tools with SoAlz, that is Coochie. We also call him Tools and Tactics, or Electric Connection, whatever he's going by now. How you doing today, sir?
It depends on how I identify at any given point. You never really know what you're going to get.
Two can play that game.
I'm doing pretty good. What's up?
Nothing. So, I mean, we can talk about the products. I want to get the disappointment out of the way first.
Okay.
And I think the biggest disappointment coming out of pipeline for me were the new Forge batteries are going to be, well, cylinder cell style batteries. Same as pretty much what they have now. They're just going to call it, instead of high output, Forge.
Amazing. I never saw that coming with Milwaukee, by the way. Not in 1,000 years, actually. Super, super surprised by that.
Yeah.
Can you tell my... I'm going to make up a word here. My supposition.
What?
I made up a word. It's the act of being surprised, and
Thank you.
then the aftermath of being surprised. So surprise.
I mean, yeah, it's honestly, it's terrible. Smash it. Tools with SoAlz, he loves it. Thank you, everybody. Tom B, Jordan Brown, B Dubs, Bone CK. I know Paul W was here earlier. George Ordway, Joshua Wilson, Jake Sheff is here.
What's up, Jake?
Oh, and it looks like we got a couple of new people. Tech Man Diesel and Max B49. I think Max B Sayer's been around.
Bone CK just bought a 12 amp hour a month ago. Looks like the price is comparable.
Yeah, the whole idea that all stand up and paddle animal rescue, holla, how you doing? The whole idea of this is to introduce, well, new products, kind of give everybody an idea of what's coming up in the direction of the company. And these new batteries, I mean, when they came out with LiPo last year for pipeline, I think everybody got excited. And the first time you used a Forge battery, you saw how good it was. That's definitely exciting. Raymond Roman, how you doing?
What's
Sorry to hear that,
interesting,
Jeremy.
I really didn't see a
Jan.
huge performance gain on the Forged versus the 6.0 high output. There's a little bit there.
Yeah.
But it's not huge. When you take the difference of a standard cell dewalt and you go to a 5, huge, huge difference. I think that Milwaukee absolutely nailed the 6.0 high output out the gate with the 21.7s, better than
Yeah.
anybody has as far as 21.7s go.
Right.
And for DeWalt, it was just a world of difference.
Well, I
In
think
technology.
that speaks more to how bad standard XR batteries are for DeWalt.
It also
In
kind of
comparison.
ties into what you're about to say.
Well, no, we're gonna we baited the hook, and now we're just reeling them in, because I am not going to expose the biggest news just yet. We're gonna wait on that. And the fact of the matter is that what I'm going to point out to some of you guys, some of you may already know, maybe you've seen it or you were paying special attention, but I think I think the news is so revolutionary that Milwaukee is now going to be a full generation or two ahead of their competition. And by the time the DeWalt's, well, let's not even joke ourselves. Makita's never going to catch up because they're trash. But Bosch, Metabo, any of these other competitors catch up, Milwaukee will be on to the next thing and making their tools even better. I do have a new haircut. Thank you. It's why my face looks thin. It's because I lost my hair.
Nice. I don't
Yeah.
have any. I don't have any
So
excuses.
I think no, we're not reaching market saturation. Not even close. So the new forged batteries are simply just better versions of high output batteries. I don't know that they're tabless. It didn't say tabless. So it's pretty much just a different version of high output. They did have a new roofing
Buds.
coil nailer that will also do vinyl siding, and actually a friend of mine was the one that presented it at Pipeline, and his name is Cole Jeffries. I actually personally know him. I've met with him, talked with him, because he's from this Missouri area where I am, and now he's up in well, I think he's up in Wisconsin now. I think he's actually at Milwaukee, wherever their world headquarters is, and he's doing research for them and development. So
That was the dude you
um,
met at Home Depot, or is that somebody else?
yeah, that's him. That's the
Nice.
guy that started at my local Home Depot, and now he's some big muckety muck over at Milwaukee, just doing good things for him, and we're very very happy for him to do that.
Nice.
But so I thought the new coil nailer was the second most impressive tool, well, actual tool that they presented at Pipeline, because it is something that is going to affect builders in the trades quite a bit and allow them to carry less tools out into the field and still be productive, if not more productive.
Which
So,
which one of us is going to do the Hoya? Not to be confused with the Hawk too.
you get enough of that hawk to in your personal life, but it's not you getting it; it's you giving it. I thought it was cool. I know that, like, when I was out building or whatever, we had to carry two different types of nailers, one for the roof and then one for the siding. If we even used a nailer on the siding, a lot of times we would just use a hammer. So I'm old, but that is one of the things. Like, just having one tool that can do both now is a huge advantage to Milwaukee.
It's going to be interesting for sure if they can pull it off with first gen, like being
Huh,
reliable.
that's cool, beat up. I don't have the ratchets for either company. I don't.
Just like a blowback system on some of our favorite tools with gas involved. It's essential for a good nailer to have a good kind of, I don't want to say the word, to ruin your stream, but the pneumatic action definitely helps with the movement in those tools to get the next nail and you know what I mean, and make
Yeah.
everything move.
Well, the
Where
ramp up time is so slow on the DeWalt. That's
right,
that's one of the biggest issues. You don't want to have that ramp up. You want to be able to go on to the next one without having to wait on your nailer, because if you're waiting, that just means you're less productive.
yeah,
A metal coil connector nailer, maybe. I don't know what they got.
yeah. I wonder if there'll be
Hey,
a
Tom,
stopgap
just
in
because
between
I'm on
there.
a diet doesn't mean I'm dead. I can still drink my calories with the best of them. Jesus. God damn. It's actually because my wife didn't have any tea made because that's what I normally drink, and I only drink the Coke while I'm down here anyway.
The dingleberry.
The dingleberry tea. She's got to
Yeah.
work on it. She's got hemorrhoids, so not as many
Oh,
dingleberries right now. So sorry. No, I thought the nailer was cool. The other one that they showed, which looked very impressive, but is not practical, and I think it's another huge disappointment. Was their 2 battery chainsaw? Look, if you're gonna take your building tips from Makita, you're probably an idiot, and you should never do that. I think they could have, if they had simply gone with uh, if you simply had gone with
20 ounce.
a single battery system and then improve the performance, I think people would have been more happy than carrying a bulky ass chainsaw that requires 2 batteries out there. It just doesn't make sense, especially with Milwaukee, who they're by far the leaders when it comes to uh, single battery performance. You can look at FlexVolt and you can say, well, the FlexVolt's a better chainsaw. Cool, but overall, Milwaukee produces better power with their single battery uh, tools
Than
than
anybody.
anybody else.
Ever.
New M12, the new M12 Stubby was very impressive. 550 foot-pounds, or is it 500 or 550? Somebody in the comments will let me know. But for a 12-volt Stubby impact wrench to be packing that much is insane.
Yeah. Begs the question on
Joshua.
how big it's going to be, because their battery design, man, it's kind of still terrible. Anyway, you dice it, you're still stuck with that damn battery. So by the time that you get a
Hey,
6
Jamie.
or even the 5 high output, it
550.
has the foot
Thanks.
here and then it goes back up towards the tool. It's almost the same size as an M18.
Yeah, so it's not going to, it doesn't look like they increased the footprint of the tool at all. Like
That's
they
great.
had it next to the existing Stubby and whatnot. It's just more powerful. One of the things that I don't know how you guys will feel about it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a huge pain in the ass to me, is having the speed selector where you have to put the knob into neutral and then squeeze to get it to change from 1 to 2 to 3. Granted, we're basically all going to leave it in either forward or reverse and put it in 3. I get it. But
Right.
for those tasks where you don't do that or you don't want to do that, having to put it in neutral and then dot dot dot, as opposed to just, for me, I could just put my thumb up there and change it, is a negative. Like, I don't like it as far as that goes, having not used it. Maybe if I used it, I'd like it more or better. But just from an overall reaction, initially looking at it, I'm like, well, that's kind of stupid.
I don't like buttons on my tools as a general rule. If I can get a actual switch.
Oh no, it's not an actual switch. You have to
Yeah,
put,
I
instead of
know.
going
I know.
forward or reverse, you put it in neutral. How easy? What's up? You have to put it in neutral and then hit the trigger to get it to go into the speed that you want.
Right. The exception with buttons on my tools would probably be the multi-head 12-volt from the installation driver from
Yeah.
Milwaukee, because I almost always, you never know what hand you're going to be using that thing in because you're in tight spots anyway. That's the whole point of the
Yep.
tool. So I almost always accidentally put the thing into neutral or reverse when I'm reaching into the back of a cabinet. And
Sure.
sometimes you got to balance that screw just right to where you got your left hand, you're automatically going to cover up the portion of the button here with this portion of your hand. And you're trying to balance the screw while you're trying to inch in the back of a cabinet and not do anything stupid. I like that there's no buttons on the side of that tool. It's my favorite thing
Hey,
about
Trevor.
it.
Right.
Some people don't.
The installation driver, the button where it is doesn't bother me. Uh, it's a pain sometimes, but overall it doesn't bother me because I set my speed before I do anything, so it's
Right.
not really that big a deal. But I thought that was maybe the I as far as tools go, maybe the most impressive would be that little stubby impact wrench. None of the rest of the tools really got me excited. New sander looked all right. Look, the dust collection on it looked amazing. Um, the
Y-
concrete cutter, the plug cutter that they had out there, they introduced that last year. They just didn't bring it to market. So this year I guess they're gonna maybe bring it to market. I don't really know. But have you guys waited
Interesting.
long enough? Do you want to know? We're 16 minutes in. Do you guys want to know what the biggest announcement was at the pipeline event? And they didn't even talk about it.
Yeah. Can I point out these batteries real quick so I can
Sure.
stop holding them? One thing DeWalt is really good about doing is whenever they go up 1 amp hour as the technology increases, they're really good about keeping these things almost the same damn size. They did it with the
Good point.
4.0, the flat high
Uh huh.
output battery from DeWalt,
Yeah.
and they did it here because we got a 4.0 that's almost shaped like a 5,
Yep.
and then we've got the flat 4. And here you've got a 12 volt 3 amp hour battery and a 12 amp hour 12 amp freaking 12 volt 2 amp hour battery.
Wow.
Which is something that I appreciate from DeWalt. And I feel like they have our back more for what's actually being used in the field than, you know, coming out with a freaking bigger, heavier battery when we've been dying for a 3.0 forge. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So the other people are like the new Circ Saw, the roller box, whatever. They're all great. Don't get me wrong. I think Milwaukee had an impressive overall showing. Couple of products that really disappointed as far as the announcement. The biggest being the batteries just being renamed high output to forge. Kind of stuck in my craw, and I was like, well, that's a shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
But the one that really caught my attention actually happened when they were showing the Circ Saw, um, because they had something on the table and they never mentioned it. But they talked about how it made a circular saw that is 30% smaller but 70% more efficient. And that was being they showed a new brushless motor that's about half the size of their current brushless motor. And that by far means that Milwaukee is now at least a step, and in Makita's case, 10 steps ahead. But Milwaukee is now at least a step ahead of everyone else hi guys, hi Sharush, when it comes to motor technology. They had already set the standard that was to be used across every every brand, because every brand compares themselves to Milwaukee, whether you like them or you don't like them. I've got no special feelings toward Milwaukee one way or another. I did. If I didn't have a channel, I wouldn't buy Milwaukee. But that doesn't, and because I'm not a professional any longer, I'm a homeowner and I'm retired. But just seeing that new brushless motor, seeing how small it is,
Yeah.
and seeing how it can produce those high RPMs like they're doing in that Circ, I think it was 7,000 RPMs, maybe a little higher on a Circ saw, was damned impressive. When they bring, and it's not if, when they bring that technology to their impact wrenches, to their drills, their impact drivers, their rotary hammers and whatnot, it's game over for everybody else. Everybody else is going to be playing catch up.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah. Belt driven circular saw is also a thing out there though.
Yeah.
Which one you think is same motor, belt driven? Which one's gonna win?
Oh, I would have to say a belt driven. If they have the same motor, a belt driven is not only going to last longer, but it's going to provide more power, more
Everything, yeah,
consistent
deliver.
powder. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's a well, and you've got Flex has, I think one of theirs is correct me if I'm wrong. You're more of a Flex guy than I am, but I think one of
Hmm.
their saws has a belt drive in it.
It's super thin, man. It fits
Yeah,
in. If you guys are familiar with the T stack, they're only about this tall, and you can close the
damn.
top on the T stack. Like they fit in their smallest T stack box. That's insane.
Yeah,
So when it comes to like, because Josh was asking us the other day in the group chat, hey, I'm looking for a saw that's compact. And even when you go with the 12-volt Milwaukee, it's just as tall as the damn Flex because the Flex is just like that. You know what I mean? It's
it is.
crazy how thin that thing is. The saw plate is what, maybe 4.5 inches wide. I mean, so that's kind of against it. If you're trying to get, a nice precision cut going or something, or stick it in a stick it in one of those universal saw plates that you can ride the rail with. Kind of hard to fit in there, but um, impressive stuff from both sides for sure. But yeah, no
Thank you,
doubt
George.
the small battery on the Milwaukee is just a sign of things to come. Man, they're gonna do good stuff.
$67 for the Flex belt drive saw.
Wow.
They have the battery with it. That's the question. I was at a bin store yesterday and saw Flex batteries on sale at a bin store, which means they're buying them on Amazon and returning them.
Dang.
Excuse me. Hey, Big Red. No, it 118. Wow. Uh, no, this new brushless motor that they show, and it was just sitting on the table. They never mentioned it. Like I watched their event, and they never mentioned it. It just sat there, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, damn. And they are saying it's 30% more copper, and it's pure copper. So talk about delivering efficiency in a motor. Copper is definitely going to be able to carry the regulate the voltage longer than some other metals. But damn, that's impressive to hear. It's impressive to see that a company like Milwaukee, who's already the market leader, just said, "Well, what we're doing is not good enough. We need to up our game. We need to come out with this other technology that we've been sitting on." And it's like, damn, guys, like if you're a tool guy, like I'm a tool guy, I don't really care as long as it's not Makita. I don't really care who makes the tools. Like if you make a good tool, I gotta get excited about it. And if this doesn't get you excited to see just how far it can go, Motor Tech it's like Tesla level. Yeah, it is a huge achievement. More expensive to make too. Yeah, but the thing
What
is, if it's that much better than the competition, you're going to pony up.
we try to stay away from politics here, but do you want to tell them what store I bought this hat
It was a
at?
store in Branson named after one of the candidates who looked coherent during the debate.
Yeah, there you
There
go.
you go.
It's a good hat though. I like this hat.
It is a good hat. That's where I got my titties hat.
Yeah.
I'll just say it. Oh, I think the next impact driver that Milwaukee makes that has that motor design is going to be far superior anything that we have seen, like anything. And they're
Yeah.
going to have like, and just tell Milwaukee this now, I'll get everybody excited. They're going to have bits that are reinforced to take that extra oomph from these motors, because the motor by itself, like on a circular saw, to get 30% more efficient from a brushless motor is a huge deal. That means you
Yeah.
can double the power, at least double the power on an impact driver or a drill.
Well, I was gonna say, what
What's up,
Sayer
creature?
said, but he nailed it, man. It's because of more material for conductivity, and we've
Yeah,
seen when we do these tests, we pull the trigger on the tools, and the voltage drop, even on a flex, is at
yeah,
16, 17 volts
yeah.
from 24. So, and that's under load. And if you can get rid of some of that voltage drop, you're going to be delivering the original voltage that much more. That might be the new game. I mean, that's what they're doing with the tablets. That's what they did with they said, that there's thicker copper on the stacked lithium,
Yep.
more pathways, more parallel paths to deliver the current.
Yeah.
Um, and now they're going with thicker things. Maybe we'll start seeing full on bus bars going down to the battery instead of wires.
The thing is, with more power, they'll be able to separate what they have better. Like it'll actually mean a a huge difference, even bigger than what we're seeing now.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
going to have to stop with
it's
the fuel. It may no longer be a fuel line.
I don't know. I think the fuel line is kind of their top of the line. It is definitely their top of the line, and I think that's what you're going to see.
The tax here is 0.08, I believe.
Um, Angel, the only thing we eat here is your mama.
Did he?
And the problem is that your mama, she like old country buffet. She got a line out the door because she's real cheap and it's all you can eat.
Oh, God. Yeah. Out here,
Oh,
it's 0.6. Wow.
damn. Ain't no party like a Diddy. I don't even know who Diddy is, which is weird.
He
I just know he's a
insulted the
guy.
man didn't even know he was talking about.
No, I just know it's a guy that's in the news for I don't even know what. I'm kind of out of the loop. Your
Oh,
mama
that's
tastes
funny.
like fish. That's better than tasting like ass because that means you went too far. I'm just saying.
This guy.
Eh,
That's not
y'all
what you
show up
do.
for tool news, and I just go right through for the throat right there.
Yeah,
Sent you a picture
metaphorically
of
and
the
physically.
motor souls. You can share. Well, I can't share it because I'm on my phone. So make stuff better. We're actually talking about the pipeline, and we were just talking about the new motor, the new brushless motor that Milwaukee introduced but didn't talk about, which is by far the most impressive thing to come out of the pipeline event. The Stubby was great. The coil nailer was great. Thank you, Edley. Um, the coil nailer was great. The
The box,
uh,
the pack
oh
out.
yeah, the new pack out
You think
box
that thing
looked
seals pretty
amazing.
good, or is it going to be like
Yeah, I mean
I
it's a
don't know.
pack out.
So I was talking to a guy. I go to 20 plus job sites a day, right? And I'm always looking at everybody's tools, and I know what's out there. I know what everybody uses the most. Um, and I was asking this guy about different boxes and stuff.
I
And the
did
guy,
not
he
go
just
to the
swears by his
pipeline.
pack out, man. He said,
Yeah,
when I load it in my truck, I fling it in my truck. And when I get out of my truck, I kick it on the ground because it's so damn heavy. He says he's tired of lifting it. So he hoses it on there and it slams in the back of the van. And then when he gets it off, he just drags it and drops it. And he's been doing that for 5 years. So there's something to say about the pack out stuff. I hope this one lives up to, what it needs to live up to.
Oh, yeah, we don't watch Total Retard Zone. The thing is, like most of these dudes that are in this tool space, as far as on YouTube, and
Been on
by
before.
most I mean like almost all of them,
Yeah.
they're nurses, security guards, like bums. Like I think one's a landscaper, uh, but like they don't really know jack shit because they've never been on a job site. Like you put you put Total Retard Zone on a fucking job site, he's out of there in 10 minutes crying. He probably leaves a diaper in his car to soak up all the tears because those sons of bitches can hold at least 10 pounds. Um, I'm just saying, like, dude I bat raise. Like, I think the first time he would say that, I'd throw him off the roof. Just like, hey, let me introduce you to something. Walk over here. It's the ground.
It's the ground.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not talking
Man,
about anybody in specific, but if I were to talk about VCG, I would say if you watch their series of them building a house, ain't no way you'd want them on your job site to do shit.
I couldn't watch long enough. I don't know. And the more you do YouTube, the less YouTube you can even watch of other people's.
Yeah,
That's just the way it is. Like, if you want to ruin YouTube for yourself,
I'm with you,
become
Jordan.
become somebody that makes content, and you'll start nitpicking everything everyone does. You'll pay attention to the pauses, how long it takes them to say something, all that stuff. Terrible. How many times you say it'll just ruin YouTube for you.
It
But
does.
what I will say is I've seen a lot of videos talking about different bits and things like that. I know we touched base a little bit on the bits on my channel on Thursday. And today I was driving in a screw to hold that hat up right there. Over here. There it is. And into a stud. And I used the factory screw that it came with. And it's a factory screw. So homeowner grade. They almost feel like plastic. You know which ones I'm talking about.
Yep.
And I used a ryobi bit because I
No,
just
no jealousy.
grabbed, a homeowner grade bit. Why not? It's a homeowner tool. It's a homeowner screw, and it just didn't have the good enough head to even drive the screw in there. But no one
Yeah.
ever talks about that. They'll put them inside of some construction rated screw that's going to
Yep.
have way better retention than the piece of crap ones that come in the boxes. They come with all your things, whatever you're building. And the Bosch still wasn't stripping out on the screw that I stripped out.
No, I made the video 2 years ago, and I was like, of all the brands, of all the bits that I can buy in a common store, Bosch was my favorite. Like by far the best retention, fewest cam out that I've had of any brand. Metabo would be second behind them, common brand. Milwaukee's like dead fucking last. Like I hate their bits. Their Shockwave bits are terrible.
I can't say anything about the longevity. They're great out of the box, and then it just seems like I go through a lot of Milwaukee bits.
Yeah, they're just soft. They're baby shit soft. It's not good.
Yeah.
Metabo HPT. So Metabo HPT and Metabo German are the same company now. There is no distinction between the two. They're actually made now in the same factory, owned by
Uh-oh.
Hikoki Enterprises. With the new Hikoki, I got it's premium feeling combo. I bet it is. Caleb Robs, by the way.
Hmm.
Bosch definitely the best of the name brands for the price. Now there are better bits out there. Hilti makes an amazing bit, but who the fuck wants to pay $58 for like 20 bits. Campbell Hausfeld, or no, hold on.
I don't
Muller
know.
cups. Sorry, it's on my
Oh,
wall there. Muller cups, by far, or Mueller coops, whatever they are. Um, Definitely makes an amazing bit. Weeha's good, but you get better value out of the Bosch.
the Bosch right now, especially since not that many people are buying them, they're almost always on sale.
Yeah, dude. Um when I was driving those Phillips heads, because for some reason people think you got to push down real hard on a Phillips head screw. I don't get it, but they think that. I was using a heart bit from Walmart and some wood screws that I bought from Walmart. So they're definitely not high quality. And I was able to go bits at the moment because the box is nicer. Okay. I
Oh,
don't
it
like the,
cammed out in there, slipped.
yeah. Yeah, I don't like the Makita bits. Makita Gold is where they kind of made their hay, where everybody was like really impressed with them.
Yeah,
But the
were they too
Makita Gold,
good? Why they stop making them?
because they weren't making their money. Nice, Dan, Jordan.
Need to bring them
No,
back.
but as far as like going out to the back to the pipeline, rather, going back to the pipeline event, I mean, honest to God, like if I was DeWalt and I watched that, I literally would look at my R&D team and go, "We're fucked," because it just now, what? So it's been 3 years since the Gen 4 came out.
Right.
Which amazing that we could say three. It's been 3 years like that, or 2 years, 3 years, where whatever it's been, and it's just now where other companies are starting to catch up.
Right.
And then they have this new motor, and the new motor is going to be so much better, more conductive, more everything. Get a get a cat tools. No, no, no. I will not be getting cat 650 inch pounds, and it's probably half of that, to be honest. Um, but just having that new motor out there, just showing it, ought to make every other brand go, fuck,
Yeah.
we're done. I mean, right now, because that's going to pass down the line. So figure Rigid will get the Gen 4 tech in their new lineup when it comes out, and then ryobi will get the Rigid hand downs, the hand me downs. So they'll be a step up, and Rigid right now can compete evenly with DeWalt in most cases. They just don't have the lineup of DeWalt, which doesn't make them as attractive a buy as DeWalt.
Yeah. Makes up better
But
says, do you need all that power to 99% of what you do? I certainly don't.
no, but the thing is, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Well, just naturally, right? The less your tool's straining, the more efficient it is too.
Yeah. But as they get more power, like that's higher RPMs. It's more foot pounds of torque, higher high. Well, I already said higher RPMs. That's like passes down the line. It also means that motor is going to be capable of lifting the heavier hammer mechanisms in the impact drive or the impact wrench, making those tools more efficient. You put it in a rotary hammer, and the little wobble nut that's in there that actually causes it to jump. And if you guys have never opened up a rotary hammer, you might not know what that is, but it's just a piece of metal that is almost always at an angle. And as it moves up and down, that's actually what's causing the rotary hammer to move up and down
Right.
to make it more efficient. Well, it'll be able to carry a bigger one of those which means it'll be able to go into concrete even faster.
Right.
That's a huge deal. Like right now, Bosch is by far and away the leader when it comes to rotary hammer. Bosch, then Hilti, then Milwaukee, dewalt, or whoever you want to put in that third place. But that's kind of the pecking order right now. And when you get into the brass tacks of it, when you throw in a newer motor that's smaller, that means you don't have to increase the footprint of your current tools, but your current tools can carry more of a load more efficiently, give you higher RPMs and more power. That's going to be amazing. And going back to that passing it down thing, Ryobi has the tools across the board that if they had a better motor in them, like if they get the rigid current gen rigid
The dominant.
motors, that you know that means DeWalt is now competing with Ryobi. Makita is competing with Craftsman.
I
That's
think
just the way of it. They have to seriously either pay Milwaukee for DeWalt. I'm talking about Stanley Black and Decker. They'd either have to pay Milwaukee for the design of that motor, or they'd have to redesign their entire lineup for a new motor. And that's going to take 3 to 5 years. By the time they catch up, Milwaukee will be on the next one.
the next one with experience on building them.
So, yes,
Yeah.
Apache helicopter, Joshua Wilson, you should be buying Hyper Tough, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Man, when I think of DeWalt, though, the Sanders,
That
jigsaws,
that
the
new
DeWalt's
Milwaukee
got some
sander,
really good designs, man. It's a
yeah,
3-inch.
that new Milwaukee sander, they compared it to the DeWalt. I know they had the DeWalt painted gray, but they
Yeah.
compared it to the DeWalt, and just the vibration alone made me say I would take the Milwaukee. They
Yeah.
they
Well,
had it like hooked up on string or whatever, both
but
of
it's
them, and they had them turned on, and you could
but
see the water jumping all over the place for the DeWalt,
yeah, but it's
and then
3 inches,
smooth.
man. Like it should be less vibration.
Well, yes, but it was compared to the same size DeWalt. Like they weren't pulling a flex.
No, no, I get that, but it's 3 inches pointless, is what I'm saying. Like, what are you gonna do with a 3 inch? Are you making picture
I do.
frames? Like, maybe that's like what you do a 3 inch with. Like, it's just small. You're gonna get more
Well, no,
RPMs.
it's aimed more at the automotive industry than it is at the woodworker, because the automotive industry, you're removing metal, rust, and bondo.
Oh God,
And
they're trying to go for the mobile with battery when you're in a shop surrounded by air tools still.
dude, I'm just telling you, it does make sense because again, 3 years of proof on this. I've been saying
What's
that air is going out,
Yeah,
and it. If you go to an automotive shop right now, they're actually using battery impact wrenches instead of air impact
yeah,
for most things. Now they're still using air on a lot, but they are not using it on everything. Uh,
right.
More and more, they are moving toward battery operated tools. Snap-on, Matco, uh, DeWalt, and Milwaukee. Those are the ones that you're going to see. Every once in a while, you'll see a Hercules. Not very often, but every once in a while, you'll see a Hercules, and you'll even see a rigid. But you don't see Makita.
Yeah,
You don't really see anybody else. That's
right.
the kind of the point. And the fact that more and more uh, of those shops are finding less usage for those huge air tanks, that's just space that they can't make money with. Like it's a lost space.
Yeah.
So it does make sense that they're going for this. What's up, Kansas? Jamie True is here. The new Sanders will make life easier. I believe that. I used Milwaukee Impact for almost everything when I was at the dealership. There you go, Josh. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Now you're talking about, like, we were just impressed with Hercules being able to keep up with some of the other brands. Well, we had to handicap the other brands because Milwaukee or Hercules doesn't have battery tech to back themselves up. Kind of makes them less useful, to be honest with you. And now you're talking about going to the next thing with Milwaukee having a better motor, more efficient, having battery tech already developed that's ready to go to buy all the old tools for cheap. There you
Sayer's
go, V
saying he
Commander.
almost bought a Makita sander. Thank God Red saved his soul. Dude,
Dude, don't.
Milwaukee makes a terrible sander too.
Yes. But he's talking about the new sander that they got coming out.
Oh, okay. I thought he bought some Milwaukee something. I mean, it's still an upgrade from the Makita, but
Yes, Panther. Oh, I think Kansas is leaving. I think I saw see you Tuesday. Hey, Swope, what's up?
we'll see you
How
later,
did
Kansas.
Milwaukee change the world? Well, we were just talking about the battery, not battery tech, but their new brushless motor that they showed and didn't talk about was, I'm honest to God. I mean, it's small enough, like the motor itself was small enough that you could put it in a 12-volt tool.
Right.
And now you're talking about they're going to be putting it in 18-volt tools. That's just ridiculous, man. That's going to be ridiculous. If
Yeah, I
Milwaukee had
wonder
like
I wonder if it's so
true, Dale.
fast that it only made sense to put it in a saw than to stick it on something that was going to impact and have that, gear shearing action
Oh,
going
George.
on with the spline drive. I wonder if it was too
All
powerful.
right, George.
I got to figure out how to tone it down because a saw
Actually,
is
I'm
something you
going.
can really let it loose with.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess before it comes into impact drivers, hammer drills, rotary hammers, things that are going to take some serious
Yeah, they're going to
abuse.
refine it.
Well, I think they're going to have to um, come up with a way of increasing the ribbing in their tools.
Yeah, you get
Like
more surface area.
they're going to have to do a retooling of it. They're going to have to do a complete retool of the ribbing inside to reinforce so that any of the impact, the additional wear and tear is going to be passed throughout the entire tool. Because
Right.
if you open up the M18 impact driver now, there's a
It's pretty
lot of
thin.
space in there that doesn't have any ribbing. Go onto the handle, a lot of space in the handle that doesn't have ribbing. They're also going to need to around the motherboard, the circuit board that's in there. They're going to have to figure out a way of increasing the epoxy resin that they're using and make sure that that doesn't get vibrated and broken. So I'm going to guess that probably another 2 years you'll see them unroll or unveil a new hammer drill and impact driver with all new tooling, just designed to take care of that extra vibration and extra power. And then it's like it'll truly be game over for everybody.
It's got me wanting to take apart an impact here and
Yeah, you boy.
solder some thicker wires from the battery area
Oh,
to the switch and then from the switch to the motor.
all right. I'm going to answer you, V Commander, but I have to answer a channel member who asked me what my favorite penetrating oil is. It's absolutely no contest. It's a substance called Break It. You can only buy it from one place in the United States, and that's actually in Kansas. It's a company called Ultra Chem, and it's 1,000,000% amazing. If you've never used it, and you can try to compare it to 3-in-1 oil, Kroll, WD-40 or PB Blaster, they're not even in the same league. The
Nice.
the Break-It is far, far and away better. And then somebody asked me, where would I rank Makita? If we're being honest, as far as tool performance and whatnot, they're like 12th, if we're being honest. Uh, they don't compete with Flex, Milwaukee, dewalt, Hilti, Rigid. I mean, that Metabo. You just tried their 40-volt impact driver against Metabo. They don't compete with Metabo or Bosch, so they're down there with Ryobi, Craftsman. Uh, they don't even compete with Hercules. That's 10 brands that they don't compete with.
Right.
So that's kind of where they are, if we're being honest. Now, if we're going by name recognition, by nostalgia, 4, but
Right.
actual tool performance, 12.
Right. And
It's
that's after Flex, and Flex is fairly new.
Yeah, the quarter 10 and a quarter circ. I believe that. Take it easy, Sharush. Thanks for being here. No worries, V Commander. Yeah, people get on me all the time about my Makita hate, but I don't think anybody has shown it more how it cannot compete
No,
than I
nobody
have.
has.
And I'm just like, prove me wrong. I get the, well, if you throw a 5 amp hour battery on that 40-volt tool, then it'll compete. Yeah, but that's a 10 amp battery on an 18-volt tool, because of the watt hours trying to make those things work. And at that point, that's just ridiculous. You're not throwing a huge ass battery like that for a tool that you're carrying in your hand. They're made for circular saws, table saws, rotary hammers, things of that nature, not drills and impact drivers, because that's stupid.
Yeah. What's your pick on a 12-volt impact? I mean 12 not 12. I'm stupid. Half-inch
Half inch
impact.
impact.
Yeah.
What half inch impact is the best at a good price? Hercules. Like, I think I don't have any, but there are certainly a number of channels out there that have shown that the Hercules half-inch impact can compete with just about anybody out there. Now, if you're just a resi guy, like a homeowner, you don't need all that. uh,
Right.
buy the cheapest one you can. Take it easy, Big Red. I'm with you, Jordan. But yeah,
Yeah.
I honest to God, I think a lot of dudes are just wasting their time as a homeowner going with high torque impact wrenches from any brand, because you don't have a semi sitting out in your yard. You don't have a tractor, chances are. So just a mid torque impact wrench is all you need. And if you've only got a car or a small truck, like, 1500 or below, you could get a subcompact half inch that'll do the job easily.
Yeah. Well, one of the lives you didn't like the half-inch DeWalt, the 12-volt.
No, I hated it.
But I actually like it. It breaks 150 um
Yeah,
very
it's not
quickly.
as strong as the rigid subcompact, and the rigid is cheaper
How much
because
is a rigid
you could get two rigid, the half inch and the 3/8, for 179.
with
And
batteries?
uh, I'd have to look. I don't really know,
Oh, okay. I
but
got
the
mine
the
with
DeWalt as a bare tool was $99.
so that DeWalt about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, was 120, and you got a 5.0, a 3.0, and a 2.0, and a charger. And that's why I
Yeah.
bought it.
Um, Yeah, to me, it didn't perform. Like we put it out there and we tested it, and it was slow, it was weak, it was loud. Um, that there was nothing redeeming about the tool other than it was small. Uh, but it's actually bigger than the rigid subcompact, and the
Yeah,
rigid subcompact with a 2 amp hour battery was able to easily outperform the DeWalt with a 5. So
right.
I'm going to take the rigid for the size and the fact that I just got them to figure out which one I'm going to leave in my car in case I break down on the side of the road. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to bust it out
Accordingly.
like right there on the side of the road. The DeWalt to me will be great for a lot of people, but it didn't perform the way I wanted it to or needed it to. So I'm going to go with the rigid.
Hey yo, that's
Have a
funny,
high
dude.
torque.
Act accordingly.
Wait, what did he say?
Oh, he
Have to
said, yeah.
get Loctite red
If you know,
in
you
your
know.
neighbor's lug nuts.
Act accordingly. If you know, you know.
That is pretty funny if you do that to somebody. I'm just saying, like the rigid for me, and I think I got the rigid last year for during the Christmas season, and it was one of the tools that you could get for free. So
Nice.
I was like, yeah, gotta go with that one. It's rigid does make a very good product. People just don't like it because of the like they only think there are two brands out there. But I
Yeah.
don't I don't really care about the brands. I'll tell you guys if you guys ask me a question about the brands, like what tool where what I'm gonna give you an honest opinion. Now, if you're waiting for me to say something nice about Makita, hold your breath and wait.
Let's think
We're
of
gonna see
something
what
that's
happens
good.
first. From Makita,
The 36-volt
the
rear handle
return
saw is pretty
policy is
nice.
pretty good.
The return policy. Yeah.
That's my favorite part. Free
Yeah.
tire wrench in the trunk. Because I'm old and fat, dude. I'm not about that life. I want to do easy, man. Shit.
Yeah.
If life gives you an easy button, use it. I mean, that's explains a lot of my dating life.
I did the same thing. I I almost run like
Wait,
a
wait, wait,
freaking
wait, wait. You slept with a lot of easy women? Is that what you're saying?
I got a full size spare with a real tire in the back. And then I run the jack
Mm,
up with my impact, zip the lugs off, throw the spare on, and get a discount later.
yeah, I heard you're lazy. Where's my Ohio Power Tool? They're sold at Acme. I mean, Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Sutherland's.
Uh,
Basically every like farm and
oh,
fleet, farm and
um,
home.
you got a Northern
Like
Tool?
yeah, Northern Tool.
Northern Tool.
Milwaukee is sold all over the place. I
Yeah.
don't know where this belief is that they're not readily available. They're actually sold in more stores. I think if you looked at it, I think they'd be sold in more stores than uh, DeWalt, and I think everything's sold in more stores than CPO, Acme, um, sold Tool Nut, sold more than Makita. So there you go. Napa
Ace
sells
has a
Milwaukee.
nice display in Milwaukee. I don't mind
Mm.
telling you.
Yeah, the last time I was in there, again, it's like everybody else. They get their tribalism. So red and black, black and yellow. That's where what you're gonna see the most of when you're in an actual hardware store.
Yeah.
Never buy from
Napa.
International Tool.
Mm.
Skill Warrior 12 volt. Good for you.
I love that turd.
I was just saying, like you can buy Milwaukee in most places, just not at Lowe's.
Yeah.
Menards doesn't carry either brand. They carry Bosch and Metabo. Hey, Juan is here. Juan showed up for the last day of Pride Month with Shaka Gillis. Coincidence? I think not. True Value? Yeah. Well, True Value is Ace Hardware.
Oh,
Milwaukee has that O'Reilly. There you go. See? Thank you guys for helping me out. This Tractor Supply has old Porter Cable and DeWalt. Yeah, Porter Cable's an exclusive to Tractor Supply.
they used to make some of the best nailers for trim. Not
I
so much
think
anymore.
Shaka Gillis just admitted that he and Juan are banging because it says,
Maybe
"Hey, we
banging.
banging," and then he did this, the emoji
He
like
did.
this. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, they don't have the new multi. Oh yeah, I don't. Well, Menards doesn't carry anything that's current model. It's all older model.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, what did you guys think? Whatever happened to Bostitch? They're still around. They're just not very popular anymore.
Maybe on
In the
Amazon, I
90s, they
guess,
were the
right?
nailer. They
Yeah.
were the nailer that was the most popular in the
It's the
90s.
number one refurbished, reconditioned, refixed, whatever it is on Amazon. If you look at a nailer and you look for refurbished, you're going to see a Bostitch. That tells you enough about them.
Yep. I know. This is the last time we'll be able to say this during Pride Month. But we're out of here. So, for all you Makita guys out there, and in honor of Pride Month, don't forget, blow them like you know them.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of you guys, manscape like you landscape. If you trim your bush, your deck will always look big. We gone.
We'll see.